I guess till here we had done in the last class, so we'll just continue. So in this figure, if you remember, we had told about this particular thing. So in this multi-tier architecture, we had told about this part that is extract, read, transform, load, and refresh. That is your pre-processing step. So we'll just see what is each of two or what is it. Extraction means it's just like extract the data from multiple external sources. Data cleaning, like you detect the errors or noisy data or maybe incomplete data or rectify them by filling with some mean value or something. Basically, your application wants that your data should not be empty or any value should not be empty. Maybe you can replace it by a dummy value or maybe if the column is numerical, maybe mean of the entire column, something like that. So that is data cleaning. Data transformation, it's like converting from one form to another. So this, I guess we had seen in one of the maybe in previous chapters. Like there will be multiple databases, each of which follows multiple, I mean different formats. One might follow SQL, other might follow JDBC, other might be something related to Oracle. So each of them will require you to send data in a particular format. So that is your data transformation from one form to another. Next is load. So this particular operation is like sorts, summarizes, and consolidates, and do some integrity checks. So refresh is like propagates the update from data source to the warehouse. So it's like updates the warehouse every now and then, refreshes it. So next is something called metadata repository. So it's like metadata is actually data about the data. So there is something like what the particular database should actually contain, or basically what information should be there in the metadata repository. So since this is very much straightforward, so I'll just leave this part as a self-study. So again, self-study doesn't mean you leave. All it means is it's very simple and straightforward. Only thing you have to go through in this part is what should the metadata repository contain? What are different things it contains? So there are some 5 to 6 different things like your algorithms, which is used for summarization. It's like data related to something like that or business metadata. So these are the few things which it contains. So I'll just go through this part. We'll start with the next subtopic, that is your data cube. What exactly do you mean by data cube, and how it is helpful in multidimensional data model? So data cube is basically something which allows data to be modeled, viewed in multiple dimensions. Okay. So where these dimensions are the entities with respect to which your organization want to keep the records. So it might be if you want to consider a data warehouse in order to keep records of sales of that particular organization, then the dimensions would be time, sales, sales duration, that is the time, item, which item is being sold, branch, where the item being sold, or which are the branches in which the item being sold, and location. Same location might be having different branches. So item, time, branch, and location are the some dimensions when you want to store item with respect to the sales. Okay. So this dimensions allow the store to keep track of things, especially like what could be the monthly sales of the item, and
Hello.
branches and location. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you, but the slides are not visible.
What?
The slides are not visible.
Slides are not visible.
No.
Is it? Hear me? Anyone?
Yet not visible, sir. We can see a mouse cursor, but we can't see the screen.
Okay, okay. Wait 1 second. Is it okay now? Can you see the screen?
No, sir.
Give me 1 second. Now,
No, sir. Only the cursor is visible.
guess I have to leave the meeting and come to 1 second. Now,
No, sir. Only the cursor is visible.
was it visible before?
No, sir. Since the beginning of the meeting, it's not visible.
see this now?
No, sir.
My screen is not at all visible.
So only the cursor is visible, nothing else. Sir, if you can share the slide, we can like.
But I will desktop as the slide. Anything now?
Now it's visible, sir.
Visible, right? Entire thing. Visible, right? Data cube, multi-dimensional data model part. This slide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Instead of sharing the desktop, I just shared the PPT. Maybe it's working. Okay. Continue. So this part just tells how this data cube helps in your multi-dimensional modeling. So data cube is something or a technique which allows data to be modeled and viewed in multiple dimensions. Okay. So what do you mean by a dimension? So this dimensions, if you consider a data warehouse where all the records are stored are in terms of sales. Okay. So this data warehouse are used to or are used to store records with respect to the sales subject. So the dimensions could be time, item, branch, and so these four could be your dimensions. Okay. So with these dimensions, the organization can track things like monthly sales of the items which they are interested in, or maybe branches and locations at which that particular items were sold, etc. So each dimensions may have some one table associated with it. So this table is called your dimension table, which further describes your dimension. So for example, a dimension table for your item may contain few attributes such as your item name, brand, type, etc. So those dimension tables are usually used by your users or experts based on how the data is distributed. So what do you mean by a multi-dimensional data? So a multi-dimensional data model is typically organized by a central theme. So it's like something area of interest. So area of interest in most of the organization is sales. How good the sales is. Okay. So this theme, multi-dimensional data model, is organized around a central theme, and this theme is represented by a fact table. Okay. So we'll see one example of fact table. It is something like this. We'll just see. So fact tables are usually your numeric measures, such as if you want me to give an example of facts which are related to sales. So it could be dollars sold. That is, what is the amount of sales which has happened or which has taken place in terms of dollars. Okay. And units sold. That is the number of units sold in a particular month, or maybe amount budgeted for that particular month. So these are facts. Okay. So which are usually the numeric measures. So the fact table contains names of the facts or the measures, so as well as certain keys. So one example we'll see in the next few slides. Okay. So this particular table gives sales data of an organization called All Electronics, and it gives the sales data for items sold per quarter. That is, there are 4 quarters: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And in city of Vancouver, the location is Vancouver. So this is the 2D view. So this data is represented for sales with respect to time dimension, that is your quarters. Okay. If you want to view the same data in the 3D, so this table gives the view of sales data with a third dimension. Okay. So it's like we want to see the data according to time, item, as well as location. So there is 3 dimensions involved: time, item, and location. So this particular table gives you the 3D view of the sales database. So suppose you want to view the same thing in terms of a cube. Okay. So this is the figure in which 3D data is represented in form of a cube. The same data, okay, is represented in form of a cube, but suppose that someone or during some month you want to view the sales with the additional fourth dimension, such as this. Apart from this time, location, and item, you want to see your location also. Okay. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So something like this. So if you want to see the 4D view, so this particular cube gives you a 4D view. So 4D cube can be constructed by a series of 3D cubes. So this one thing you have to remember, that is, if you want to see a n-dimensional data, but constructing that n can be anything, n-dimensional data, but it is not usually used. Say 4D is usually not used, 2D is used, 3D used, 3D is used, but 4D is quite rare. So in that cases, you can view or display n-dimensional data as a series of n-1 dimensional cubes. So this is one example where 4D data is viewed as a series of 3D cubes. So your table 4.2 as well as your table 4.3, these two tables shows the data at different degrees of summarization. So these things can be used or can be viewed in a data cube, and in your data warehousing literature, these data cubes are referred to as cuboid. So given a set of dimensions, that is what dimensions you need or how many dimensions you need, you can generate a cuboid for each of the possible dimensions. Okay. So it's like the result. So when you want to combine or view all the different views, that is 2D, 3D, and different types of dimensional views, what you get is something called lattice. Okay. So this particular figure shows lattice of cuboids, which forms a data cube for different dimensions. Here the dimensions considered as, I mean the 4 dimensions which are considered here as are your time, item, location, and supplier, like you can see in this part. So how do you infer this particular lattice? The cuboid, which holds the low level of summarization, is called your base cuboid. That is a spud. And one more extra thing is this is apex cuboid. That is, you also call it as 0-dimensional cuboid with highest level of summarization. So when you combine these data cubes, the result would be a cuboid, or rather a lattice of cuboids. So this particular considers 4 dimensions, that is item, time, location, and supply. These 3 things are normal, but there is something as base cuboid, which is lowest level of summarization, and one more thing is apex cuboid, which is the highest level of summarization. This is with respect to your cuboid and data cube. So all you have to know is a data cube allows data to be modeled in multiple dimensions, and for each dimension there is something called dimension table, which further describes the dimension in terms of attributes. And for the multi-dimensional data, the theme is represented by a fact table. Facts are usually numeric measures, such as the amounts of sales which has happened in dollars, etc. So this example or this particular table gives a 2D view of sales database with respect to this item and time. So this same database in 3D view, which contains time, item, and location. So these things can be viewed in terms or with help of a data cube. So this particular thing shows the same data of table 4.3 in terms of cube. So when we learn what are the operations possible, different types of operations possible on a data warehouse or on a data cube, you will understand what is the advantage of using data cube rather than this table. Okay. So when you want to increase the dimensions, say apart from time, location, and item, you want the details of supplier also. So that can be viewed as a 4D data. So n-dimensional data cube can be viewed as a series of n-1 dimensional data cubes. This is one thing you have to remember. And a combination of the lattice, where your ZD, that is the cube or highest summary. The apex cube is usually denoted by all, which means that it contains everything. And the lowest level of summarization is called as base cuboid. That is this part. So if you remember in the last class, I told there are 2 types of models here. Apart from in a normal in your database DBMS, there is relational database, that is ER. But in data warehouse, I told it is star and snowflakes. These are the 2 major things, apart from fact consultation also. So this particular schema shows your star schema. So we'll see, I mean, these 3 are the most popular data models for your data, which is usually a multi. So we'll see one by one. The first star schema. This is the most common thing, which the database warehouse designers. The central last table, which you will see, which you are seeing here, this part is the fact table containing some data, maybe a bulk of data, some data is dumped in this fact table, and if you can see that there is no redundancy as such, everything is unique. There is no duplicacy of data here. That is one characteristic of your fact table. Next is you find a set of dimensional tables. These are called dimensional tables. Each of this is called dimensional table. Okay. So if you can see this particular schema graph. So if you draw the schema graph, it looks like a star. Okay. So the name star schema. So if you want me, I mean, if you want to infer what exactly this particular figure is showing, so it basically shows a schema for some sales data warehouse. Okay. And four dimensions are considered here. One is item, time, branch, and location. Okay. This schema consists of a central table, which is called a fact table, which contains keys to each of the dimensional table. If you can see the time dimensional table, there is a time key, item key for item dimensional table, similarly different things. And there is two facts, that is two numerical measures, that is your dollars and units. And one unique thing about this thing, or I don't call it a unique thing, or maybe one thing which you have to observe here, each dimension is represented by only one table, and each table consists of a set of attributes. Okay. The attributes for your branch dimensional table would be branch key, branch name, and branch type. So this is your star schema. The next is snowflake schema. So this is nothing but a variant of the star schema. The only difference is few of the dimensional tables are normalized. So since the normalization is taking place here, you can see that the data is further splitted into additional tables. So one example, the major difference, or rather a major difference between your snowflake and star schema is the dimensional table with respect to the snowflake, that is this particular model, may be kept in a normalized form so as to reduce the number of redundancies. Okay. So the advantage of such normalization is easy to maintain as well as storage of space. So as you can see, with respect to the location key is there, street is there, that two are retained. So instead of putting everything with respect to a city in one single thing, they have made city key. For that, they have kept a different dimension table, that is city dimension table, which was not present here. In that, maybe something with respect to the city and below are, or maybe city and above are stored. Okay. Here, city and below are stored in location table. City and above are stored in the city dimensional table. That is city, country, I mean city, state, and country. So this particular thing shows the third model, that is fact cancellation. So it's like if you consider this particular example schema, it consists of two fact tables. One is with respect to sales and one is with respect to the shipping. The sales table here is, if you can see, is identical to one of the previous, and the shipping table consists of 5 dimensions. Okay. These are the five dimensions apart from two measures. That is this particular thing. The other that the constant unit that is it's like an aggregate function is distributed, is computed in a distributed manner. For example, data is partitioned into n sets, and you apply aggregate function to each partition. So you get n values, n different values. So you have to aggregate them or maybe combine them to get the final result. One example for this aggregate function is sum. So it's like if you partition the data cube into different subparts or subcubes and apply sum to each of the subcubes and aggregate, take the aggregate or maybe combine this all the results into one, you will get the overall visible, right? Is the PPT visible? Anyone has the PPT visible? Am I audible? Is the PPT visible? Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible now?
So you're still breaking a lot.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
I mean, due to this containment zone, many people are not allowed inside the campus. So, and in my house, the net is very weak today. I don't know why. I'm trying with hotspot. Even then, it's giving some issues. The screen is. I will just share. Just let me know whether the screen is visible or not. Let me just share the PPT. Uh, is it visible? The PPT?
No, sir. No, sir.
Wait. Now is it okay? Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe, I mean, since I just want your opinion. I mean, since the net is giving too much of issues, uh, can I continue this class on Thursday or maybe tomorrow? That is not tomorrow, Wednesday. Is Wednesday okay? See, Wednesday, anyways, 11 to 1. It is your lab timings. Anyways, labs are cancelled. So Wednesday, I don't, from campus, I guess it would be fine. Is it okay? Wednesday, 11 o'clock, is it fine?
Sir, could you instead record the lecture and send it to us?
Recording and sending is not an option. Anyways, I had to take one class which was postponed last week. This is as good as your class with every attendance counts. Record and send means there is no attendance concept at all involved. So we'll do one thing.